Most people have no idea exactly what is about to happen in the crypto markets. It's gonna absolutely blow your socks off, guys, if you've never seen a crypto market before. And I think it could be happening literally as we speak. I'm gonna show you the evidence that supports a potential move into a brief altcoin season. So hit the like button and let's get into today's video. Now, first of all, I want to show you this particular chart pattern here, okay? You can see the back down here, 2019, you have a retest of this dip below this kind of neckline here. You then have a big push towards the upside. Now, you can see that we have a big push towards the upside and then we slowly sort of trickle down. And this would have been a fairly solid retest level. And I want you to notice that this retest level comes way higher than this point here. Now, we got a COVID-19 black swan event. Now, there is potential that we see another one of these, but it's pretty unlikely. You're betting, by not getting involved in crypto right now, that this won't happen. We then see what happens. Massive run up, okay? We can see on the other side now where we are. Retest, yellow zone here. We're literally eyeing up the next leg up, in my opinion, okay? Won't necessarily get back to those highs, but you can see Bitcoin potentially pushing to 45K. And that's massively significant because this is the altcoin market, which is the total market cap of cryptocurrency minus Bitcoin. And look what happened. We have various patterns that play out throughout this time, okay? So we have these kind of falling wedges that then ultimately break out in line with this 200-week moving average, which notice only starts here after 200 weeks kicks in. Parabolic curve 2017, we get up to here. We then come down, and this is a logarithmic scale, guys, which is why these moves down here look way bigger than these moves up here, okay? So it's a logarithmic scale, which is done on percentage moves rather than like value moves. We then get up into this area, and right this second, we are literally sat at a potential breakout zone. Every time we've broken out of one of these patterns, look what happens. Look what happens. Parabolic curves every single time. What else supports this? Look at it, guys. Right now, the crypto bubbles market, okay, this chart, crypto bubbles, free website, you can see that we're having a big surge in the growth of some altcoins. This is top 100, okay? You can see Kaspa having a good time, Algorand, hbar, XRP, XLM, Arbitrum, all the guys in the comments who've been like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you've talked about these tokens and they're not going anywhere. Told you, happy about that. Okay, enough of my ego, right? Just wanted to prove a point. But what we said is that we would see growth in the large caps first. Kaspa doesn't really fit into that large cap zone, but in my opinion, it does have the kind of like status of a large cap coin based on the team and what we see going on there. So what we're seeing right now is very key. Jumping across the Bitcoin dominance chart, which we talked about yesterday, bearing in mind that Bitcoin is ready to leg up, in my opinion, I could be wrong, to around 45K. And at the same time, I think we're going to see the Bitcoin dominance fall. Now, for that to happen, you have to see the altcoins seeing a very aggressive push as well. And I talked about this yesterday on a video I made about hbar and XLM, that Bitcoin was at its 1.618 level, seeing a pullback. And I do think that we're going to see a Bitcoin pullback in the dominance to this area to retest this kind of like triple bottom area through here, okay? And if that happens, while Bitcoin is moving up in value, then you're going to see a massive, massive surge in altcoins because their market cap is significantly smaller. And where can we see this? Well, let's jump into the charts. Look at Kaspa, guys. I talked about Kaspa when we were down here in a video I made the other day. I was telling you to buy Kaspa, or at least I wasn't telling you because that would be financial advice. I was telling you I was buying Kaspa down in this zone. Look, 138% up to this level here. Kaspa now putting in a very interesting pattern. We can see shoulder, head, shoulder breaking through. We can see Kaspa having a surge towards the upside. Solana absolutely booming after video I made the other day. We can see that Solana now up after that dip, 92%. So many people just like occupying themselves in the comments saying how crap things like Solana and stuff are. Don't really care, okay? It's so obvious what's going to go on right now. Okay, Solana is showing you that it's going to be ready for a big surge towards the upside, and it's really quite clear if you look at this 15-minute chart that Solana, literally, as we speak, probably by the time this video is out, may well have already broken from this bull flag pattern higher, and that for Solana could be another push somewhere in the region of up to here, $36, which would be a move from current levels, another 30%, which will be great, right? Arbitrum, again, looking really bullish and really exciting. There's so much going on right now that no one's really paying attention. And I'm not telling you necessarily that we can't have significant pullbacks, but I feel like if you were to FOMO in, or if I'm going to FOMO in, this could be one of my last chances to FOMO in. I know the narrative, guys. I know you're going to put it in the comments. Benjamin Cowan or whoever it is said that I must wait until the Bitcoin halving happens. But I want you to think about who controls markets. And if you can change the way that you think about cryptocurrency and understand that there is a very few simple things that drive the entire price of the markets, then life becomes much easier. Bitcoin is the most manipulated coin within crypto because it's got the largest market cap. The big money are people who manipulate Bitcoin. So what we can identify is down here, we had lots of people like Crypto Banter and stuff telling you that they'd sold all their Bitcoin and Bitcoin was going to go much lower. And then lo and behold, it does this, okay? Now, if you can understand that once even like the most diehard crypto fans start to panic sell, that it's probably going to come the other way, then you're good to go. We then get the news, and the news is the biggest indicator of all what's going to go on, right? We get like Binance is going to go under, something like that, okay? We get the SEC like going to investigate into Cardano and investigate into Solana and everything else. And then you get like, oh, BlackRock ETF. And then you get like, oh, like crypto wins a case against the SEC or XRP or whatever it is, right? Look, it's all just the fun and games of news and everything else. Now you can look at the chart patterns and work out when we're likely to get that piece of news that's going to push us through a certain place, but it's just so straightforward. Now, as a trader, as a day trader, we have to look very simply at something to start with. I will only trade in the direction of the trend. So, what is the trend in Bitcoin right now? If you're starting from here, on a weekly chart, it's up. And then if I zoom in and I look at a daily, what's the trend on the daily? It's up. Now, why I'm getting at this point and why I'm talking about the news and all these things is because it needs to manipulate people to make decisions. I've talked about this in the past on the channel, and if you were subscribed, you'll understand that basically the big money needs you in there to be able to trade against, because someone has to make money and someone has to lose money for anything to work. And the smarter everyone gets, and believe it or not, people are getting smarter despite some of the comments that I read on a daily basis. I guess not everyone's getting smarter, but you know, there is definitely people getting more aware of what's going on. The average person now, perhaps 4 years ago, could never understand what a chart was, and now can probably read a chart and understand at least what people are talking about. This is very cool, okay? But it does mean that as everyone gets smarter, that the banks and everyone have to manipulate more heavily, make things a bit more difficult. So relying specifically on one narrative that fits with the idea of not buying or selling or whatever it is really dangerous. Now, I don't know for sure that my narrative of we're in a bull market is correct, but I do know for sure that I will be up at some point significantly higher than I am right now if I'm buying crypto. Because if we roll over and we end up having another like COVID crash or whatever, then yeah, I get more chance to buy in more money. But if we just continue to the upside, like say this COVID crash never happens, we keep pushing, there are people who were up here in Bitcoin being like, oh, it's a bear market, I'm going to wait for it to roll over and then I'll buy. And they literally did nothing. In fact, they probably bought up here, got wrecked, waited, and then they were like, oh, I'll probably buy again, and then they got wrecked. The only way to have exposure is to be able to buy when the price is low comparatively to where the price you think might go. That's all you need to know. And if it drops lower, you can buy more. And if you're a day trader, then maybe you won't think like this, but most people will sit around doing nothing, ignoring the charts while they're all doing nothing low down, like Cardano and Algorand have been for the last however long. And when people are telling you to buy in those buy zones, have just been literally sleeping, and now they've all woken up and started watching YouTube videos again and whatever. Guys, it's not too late, but it will be too late if you are not taking the right mentality towards this. If the smart money now knows that everyone thinks that the bull market won't start until after the halving, then wouldn't it make sense that the bull market starts either before the halving and then dumps around a time after the halving that everyone thinks is going to pump more, that's probably a good thought. Just in my opinion, could be wrong. Obviously, do your own research. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying that in my opinion, we are running out of time and the prices of these coins will not be this cheap forever. Solana sitting at $28, when at one point Solana was worth $256. XLM currently sat at 13 cents, when at one point XLM was worth 78 cents. Ethereum sat at $1,930, when at one point it was worth $4,800. Now, I'm not saying you go chuck every penny you have into crypto right now, because that would be risky, but start to DCA in is probably the best thing I will be doing, and perhaps might be considering to do yourselves. Although, to be honest, right now I'm not buying that much because I've already seen the pumps, because I was buying back in the buy zones. And if you want to know where to find those buy zones, then you guessed it, guys, you would be in the inner circle where we were talking every single day about all the coins that were lining up in buy zones. You can see people talking about Bitcoin sitting down here in this buy zone here. All of the buy zones we've been identifying, and for the price of like 2 or 3 cups of coffee, you can be in here for a month and you can see exactly what everyone is buying and selling all the time. There's tons and tons of advice on what is going on, and there is multiple professional traders in here giving their daily updates on what they're buying, what they're selling. Also this week, it will give you access to the VC, which we've set up in order to be able to invest in pre-ICO projects, something that no one else out there is doing, and you get the opportunity to be buying in before everyone else. This is how I managed to buy Tenet at 2 cents. Tenet then went up and did an 18x on day one, guys, just by being able to buy pre-ICO. And you can do that as well. If you get into the inner circle, $9.99 per month, 5-day free trial, link down below. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. See you in the next one.